When I saw people lined up in front of Silicon Valley Bank, the most technologically savvy people probably in the world, lined up in front of a bank, taking their money out physically, it reminded me of It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but people waiting in line get their money, and they put some of their money under the mattress saying, I don't know what's going on, but I need to rush to safety. The equivalent was Bitcoin going from 19,000 up almost 50%, in the same time period. So you're absolutely right. There is a flight to safety, but it is also into treasury mutual funds, which have left the banking system and therefore will not be able to contribute to the production of goods and services in the economy.
Social media is American glasnost. Under Elon, it's like actually free speech. And cryptocurrency is American perestroika, and Bitcoin is actually free markets. And now we're having the true election, which is between USD and BTC, where people are again voting against central planning of a very different kind. And that's actually the macro frame that I have on this, is that the level of instability the Fed has been causing and ultimately predicting a lot of the macroeconomy is on that. Can I know that there's going to be passengers who are hitting the eject button and like this pilot doesn't know what they're doing? We're getting into the parachute, the Bitcoin parachute. We're getting out of the plane. Yes, I think there will be more. All right, I've got more, but let me pause there.
I've lived through a good lot of that volatile period, and I can tell the story. And so I experienced the last bit of that inflation into the double digits. I know.
Yep.
And
inflation is not shown here, but I mean the rate hike.
Yeah, inflation was in the double digits, and rate hikes went into and there was even a surtax that they put on at one point. So we were over 20% at one point. And then Volcker came in and focused on money. And I remember standing, this is how long ago this was, at the teletype every Thursday at 4:15 or 4:30, whenever the number came out. We were waiting for the money supply number. And if it wasn't low enough, the market sold off and so forth. Anyway, monetarism worked to get inflation down, getting that money supply down and having that as the sole focus. God bless him. Volcker took interest rates in 1 year from 10 to 20%. And that was the beginning of the end of that nearly hyperinflationary period. And so what I have been wondering all of these years is, let's say you're right. I actually think our research, the building blocks of it, you can see in Big Ideas 2023. I don't know if you've seen it, how we get to that 1 million plus by 2030. And I've been wondering, let's say it takes off and it just goes parabolic, and there's no incentive for anyone to let go of any of it. It's just, right? Why would you? Every time you do, you lose money. And so you get into that mindset.
If that happens, if the digital gold window is reopened, we do want it to be Bitcoin a freedom currency. And I think that actually the moves that I'm describing, that is like the positive vision of the future. If this system is going to go down, let's have an orderly exit. If you think that the Fed isn't simply piloting in the wrong direction, but actually crashing the plane, how do you make your way to the parachute? And I think that parachute, that exit, is BTC. Of course, you might have a different opinion. You might go and get gold. You might get oil. You might do other kinds of things. That's not financial advice for people to decide. But I do think that will end up being the Schelling point. I may be wrong, but that's my thesis on why I think we see exit from the U.S. banking system towards Bitcoin over the next weeks and months and perhaps years to come. The exact timeline of 90 days, I don't think it's impossible that happens given how fast digital bank runs happen, but directionally, it's much easier. Timing is hard, prepping is easy. Prep for essentially, just like you prep for COVID, and prepping earlier was better. If lockdown came in 42 days after some of the initial reports of COVID in the US, who knows how quickly digital lockdown comes. This FedNow is dropping in July. So before that happens, build the exit to Bitcoin, build the exit to other kinds of things. And I think we have potentially a positive vision on their side. Thank you.
Okay.